Happy Thursday, everyone. We wore our dicky bows earlier today, didn't we, Super Kev?
You certainly did. Certainly did.
It's the Lockdown Series, Volume 2, Episode 55. And tonight, we're going to look into our crystal footballs. Good evening, squaddies. Good evening, live chat. Good evening, everyone in the house. And more importantly, good evening to the legend that is Super Kevin Campbell.
Bow! Yep, ready. I'm ready.
What color dicky bow did you wear today?
Actually, I had a red dicky bow on today.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
so
it.
I was doing a couple of interviews today, and the red dicky bow went down the tree.
Nice. Very, very good. Well, good evening to everyone in the house. Thanks for joining us again. Stand by your beds, squaddies. What have you got in mind, Mask Gunner? Not sure.
Love it.
On time tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Everyone's here. Super Kev. Welcome back to the show. We've almost made it to the end of another week. Don't forget, you guys, this show is sponsored by Football Prizes. One more day. This is it. Tonight, we're going to give away one free ticket. I hope you've got your ticket because you never know. This one is also souped up. It's got LED lights. It's Ian right.
Look at them lights. Oh, yeah. Look at them lights.
Kev, it's almost, I mean, I'm telling you something. What would have taken it over the edge for me is if they'd have added this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, look at that. Now, they couldn't sell it for £7 odd. It'll have to go for about 15 quid.
I'm just saying, just from your jacket alone.
Just the jackets alone.
Brilliant stuff. Well, listen, good evening, everyone. Welcome. As you know, the Highbury Squad loves to bring you different content every single night. Got Super Kev here with me in the house again. Always feel honoured to have the big man here. We're going to look into our crystal footballs. Get ready, everybody. It's one of those interdull shows where we take a deep breath, we look at where we are in our league position, and then we kind of really honestly assess, Kev, where we can win, where we can lose, and where we may feel that we will draw. That is a belter. I mean, seriously, they were the original. We are the men in black. Woo!
Well, we're just dancing to
Galaxy
the tune, weren't we?
Defenders. Yeah,
the
Casey
original, the original.
Absolutely. Casey and I do have a little dance before we come on the air as well. So, Kev, let's get rolling. Let's get this show on the road. We have some very big fixtures coming up. This is not about Europa League. We're going to park that aside. We're going to do that on another show. I really want to look at what we have left in the Premier League, what the standings are in the Premier League, and where you think we may be able to win, lose, or draw best, based on our opponent as well. So here's the scoop for April, right? We come back Saturday, April 3rd. And we play Liverpool Football Club. Now, we all know that Liverpool Football Club are not the same football club that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 seasons in the league. They have really suffered this season. And I think you and I have also been honest to say, look, they have been bad. They haven't been able to cope with their injuries, but the injuries they've had have been significant. They've lost major players, and they've also gone through, Kev. We talk about Aubameyang and what's happened with his mum, but Jurgen Klopp lost his mother, Alisson lost his dad. All of these things have a profound effect on people and their lives. So with all that said, and with the fact that we haven't really done very well against Liverpool, we've performed well in League Cup, the 5-5, we lost on penalties, all those kinds of games. What do you think about this fixture coming up on April 3rd?
It's a winnable game. That's for sure.
Tell me why.
Because the way Liverpool's back four isn't what it was. We gave Liverpool a tough game up there. This is when they had everyone. And we had opportunities to really hurt them, Sophie. And we didn't. if we're honest. And it is on our patch. We tend to do okay against Liverpool at home most of the time. And they are not functioning on all cylinders. Let's be honest. Mane's kind of gone off the boil a little bit. Firmino's gone off the boil a little bit. The one constant they've got is Salah. And I think if we could keep him quiet, then we definitely have a chance. One thing I do know, we'll create chances.
Kev, what do you think about the makeshift midfield they've had, makeshift defense they've had, pulling Henderson? I think it's hurt them. Here's where I think Jurgen Klopp, I love Jurgen Klopp in the sense that I think a lot of opposing fans love him, that they wish that, he was their manager. But it seems to me that he's tried to do the square peg round hole, in a sense that he bought the Davies kid who hasn't really featured. He bought the younger player from the Turkish player who's playing in Germany, but then he's pulled out Henderson and played him at centre back.
Fabinho as well.
Fabinho too. You talk about trust being a big thing for Arteta in terms of why he picks certain players when he does. And obviously Klopp maybe didn't trust those newer players to do the job. But then pulling out those players, but Kev, that hurt them, right? Pulling out those players from the midfield. Is that going to be the type of team we face? What do you think?
Well, I think he's brought in some defenders now, and we're starting to see Liverpool pick up a little bit. It's amazing they can't win in the league, but in the Champions League they could wipe the floor with teams. It's weird, isn't it? Is the Premier League that strong? Probably is, Sophie. It probably is. We got three teams still in the competition, so the Premier League is probably as strong domestically as they come. But it is not the same Liverpool team. And when you do put midfielders who are excellent in midfield in the defense, you are going to lose something. And they obviously have lost something. Do you know what I think they've lost, Sophie? They've lost that wicked press that they have on teams where, the ball just keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. You clear it, it keeps coming back. That's what they've lost. Teams can get out a little bit more against them now because they don't have the better players in midfield.
Yeah.
And if they do obviously go with Fabinho at the back or whatever, I fancy our chances.
Yeah, and if they do play, and Sammy, I agree, like Kabak, let's be fair to him. I mean, he's been thrown into the frying pan, hasn't he, Kev?
Yeah.
It's not easy, especially when you have to come in and cover for the players that are injured and the players that we've seen perform so well for Liverpool over a couple of seasons. It's just not easy. But is that something we can take advantage of with our prowess going forward?
Well, we have to look to.
We have to. I mean, I'm not saying we're not great finishers this season, by any stretch.
And this is the conundrum, Sophie. This is a winnable game for us. But if Liverpool turn up, we could find ourselves 3-0 down, and we won't be coming back against this team. I could tell you that much. Do you understand what I mean? If you let this team get 3-0 up on you, you are in big trouble. So, again, Arsenal have to turn up. Arsenal have to put it on them. We're the home team. We put it on Spurs. Right, let's get Liverpool now. Liverpool's next. We've got to put it on them.
All right, Kev. So I'm going to do the KC line and I'm going to do the SD line. How many points do we get from this Liverpool game? Go on, squaddies. You can also join in as well. I will note them.
It's got to be. We need 3 points.
Do you think we'll get 3 points, Kev?
Of course I do, yeah.
Okay.
I think this Liverpool team's beatable.
Kev says 3. I say we get 1 point from this match. And I agree with you, Barry. This is going to come down to attitude and belief. A lot of people with you, Kev. 3 points, 3 points. Fraser says 3 points. Ryan, Thomas. Of course, Newman is the Debbie Downer here. 1 point. Marskuna 3. Zamir thinks 1. So let's see how we fare. Right, let's move on for tonight's Crystal Football. looking at the fixtures and the results that we might get. Again, this is not Europa League. This is just Premier League. The 11th of April, Sunday, KC. If there's 3 points ever that were up for grabs to grab them, it's against Sheffield United.
Yeah, that has to be 3 points. That has to be. That has to be 3
I'm going 3 and 3, and there's many reasons. And this is one team that we don't overly discuss and talk about because they've been poor all season. I mean, they were relegated, Kev, in the first 9 weeks. They were gone with their results. Couldn't string a win together. And when you think about how difficult this team was to beat last season, it's incredible, isn't it? The sophomore year in the Premier League.
It just goes to show teams who had struggled last season all of a sudden have found some form, like West Ham, for instance. Nobody saw West Ham doing what they're doing. And as we proved on Sunday, we're not even where we need to be. But we took them apart in the second half. Do you know what I mean? So, again, it comes with the stature of the club. West Ham are a good club, but they're not Arsenal. And we had that conversation I think earlier on in the week or last week. They're not Arsenal. They were, as I said, they beat Arsenal. They tell their grandkids. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And this is the kind of banana skin game that you just need to be very careful of in the latter half. I mean, we know that we like to go on a run towards the end of the season, Kev, but you always
attitude,
mental.
Attitude.
Yeah. Hopefully Ronnie will give you a birthday gift for this date. We have a Chelsea fan in the house, and a respectful one, it seems. Hey, Velvet Eye. As a Chelsea fan, I want Arsenal to take 3 points. We will do you the favor, only if you return one for us as well. Let's start the negotiations on that one. This is a crazy stat. 16 goals, Kev. That is shocking for a team that was almost heading towards Europe last season. Wow.
Do you know, Sophie, and this is for everybody in chat, Sheffield United, with that crowd behind them, were a different team.
They really,
especially at home.
This is a great point.
Different team. But they haven't got that crowd to, one, spur them on, two, put the officials under pressure, and three, opponents, that noise that, you might take that split second longer to make your pass, when you're under pressure.
Yeah. But we did well against them, didn't we? Do you remember we talked about this game a bit towards a few months ago, where
earlier on in the season,
was it the second half where we felt like it was Willian and Saka that were interchanging in that number 10 role? I think it was against Sheffield United, and we had played well.
They came on and scored a great goal.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the next fixture. So Kev and I are going 3 points on Sheffield United. All right, guys, here we go. Here's another one. Now, this is where, guys, we've got winnable games. There's 2 toughies, maybe 3 toughies, but winnable games. Kev, this team has come back somehow from the brink of death. You've got to give credit to Scott Parker. What have you seen in Fulham that may give us some challenges? And it's a London derby too. Generally, we do well against Fulham. What are your thoughts?
They're fighting. That's what they're doing. They're fighting. They're not conceding as many goals as they once were. They've had a couple of good wins. They've won at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? So
crazy result.
Well, they've turned it around. They're in with a chance, Sophie, and that's all you want. When you're down there, all you want to do is be in with a chance come the end of the season. This is a team we've got to tuck in. We've got to tuck them up nicely, and I think we will. I don't think they're not great, but they're scraping results. But if you do not match them, they're going to cause you a lot of problems. So, I fancy Arsenal to get 3 points. Definitely in this one.
What do you think the challenges are for us? So we saw Mitrovic score he scored a brace in international fixtures this week. Our defense sometimes in the air, we even let Antonio tower over us and score a header. Yeah. What do you feel is the biggest challenge or imbalance that we need to really be careful of against this Fulham team?
It's us. It's us. Honestly, we're the biggest problem we have. Again, if we turn up and we don't do anything stupid, we're difficult to beat. I'm telling you, we're difficult to beat. But if we commit harry-carry like we do, it makes life so much more difficult for us. I don't fear Mitchell. I don't fear any of their forwards.
Right. Sorry, my TV's just turned on inadvertently. I don't know how that's happened. Maybe it's Scott Parker trying to ruin the Fulham moment in the podcast, Super Kev here. So just give us a second and we'll get rid of that. Vinny Vieira and Tony getting rid of the sound in the background. I think Joe Biden's press conference is trying to infiltrate the show.
Infiltrate it. Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so are you giving us 3 points against Fulham, Kev?
Yep, 9 points from 3 games.
All right, you gone 3. Okay, we'll summarize at the end. I'm going 3 against Fulham 2. And yes, Newman, it was Vinny Vieira. He's trying to put the England game on, and I told him not to start it until I'm done with the show. So good evening to everyone in live chat. Thanks for joining us. Remember, if you hate Tottenham, hit that like button. We're looking into our crystal football and the remaining fixtures for the Arsenal in the Premier League and how many points Super Kev and I think that we can actually get done. Mostly, Kev.
Are you 3?
I'm going 3. I'm going 3. If we can't get 3 against Fulham and Sheffield United,
something's up.
Yeah, exactly. Kev has us saying here, you've got us in the top 4 now. Hilarious.
No, I haven't yet. There's more games to come. Trust me.
All right, here we go. Next one, Kev.
Yeah.
You may know this team. You may know them quite well.
Go on.
It's not sticky. It's the Toffees.
Yeah, it's the Toffees.
Now, this time of the season, we do generally do well against Everton Football Club. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts against the team that you captained and saved from relegation in your very first season?
I honestly think this is the big test for both teams, because Everton, for a few weeks they start doing well and then they revert back to type. Mm-hmm. They lose all momentum. You know, the fan base are going mad because they've done great against good teams, and then all of a sudden Fulham beat them at home 2-0. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on? This is a team that can cause problems, but I fancy Arsenal at the Emirates. Arsenal have got a good record against Everton at the Emirates.
We do at home,
I think. Listen, I think Arsenal would win the game. It'd be tight, but I think Arsenal would win it 2-1.
It's really weird with Ancelotti, and if Calvert-Lewin's fit again, aerial threat, a little bit like Fulham with their forward line, physical. Sheffield United physical, Fulham physical. I fancy a draw here, Casey. I don't think we're going to get all 3 points.
I'm not saying it can't happen. I am not saying it can't happen, because it really could. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Everton turned up and turned us over. It wouldn't surprise me either, because they are that type of team. But I just think with our record at the Emirates against Everton, they haven't got a good record at the Emirates at all. And a couple of years ago, what was it last year? Last season, they probably should have beat us last season, but we ended up winning the game 3-2.
Yeah.
And they missed some real chances. And the season before that, they had some real chances to blow us out of the water. The core is a big loss. Well said, Newman. The core is a huge loss for them. And that's why I believe Arsenal would win.
Okay. All right. So Kev says a win. I'm going for a draw. And the only reason I'm going for a draw in any other season that hasn't been as weird as this one, I would have gone for a win, because it's so topsy-turvy, Kev. And with the injuries that they have experienced, they seem to be...
on a hell of a run, by the way.
You do. Let me tell you something.
12 points from 4 games, buzzing.
We'll get to where you think we might be in the table.
Oh, hold on. Hey, we've got more games coming up. Don't you worry about that.
He's like, now you're definitely in the top 4. Hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kev, here we go. You ready? Next one. Next game, if I've got this right, Gooners, and you can correct me, is Newcastle United. I am going 3 points all day long. All day long against Newcastle.
Got to be 3 points. It has to. It has to be 3 points. But again, this is a potential banana skin for us. Because you know what? When we pile in and we say, oh, Arsenal going to turn them over, the old Arsenal turn up and, they're slack, etc. But I have to go for a win in this one. It's away. I've got to go for 3 points. I have to. Remember, I'm going on what I think. Whatever happens on the day happens. But listen, we need 3 points. We've got to get them.
Yeah.
5 wins out of 5. I tell you what, if we could get 5 wins out of 5, that will turn a few heads, man. I tell you.
I'm going to do another press release. Already done one today. I might do another one right here. But I agree with Fraser. They may not even have a manager by then. But Fraser, at the same time, they may stick with him till the end of the season at this point. There's 9-10 games left, Kev. What? I mean, it's I just don't think with this particular Newcastle team, with what they're going through this season, I fancy us to get the 3 points. In any other season, especially after the historic 4-4, you would say, maybe this is the kind of game where we might slip up. But this season with that team and how they've kind of fallen so much, so hard, so fast, and the vitriol from the fans and the media and
the front boys who cause the problems are not there.
That Joelinton,
by then, they might be coming back, but they won't be fit, if you know what I mean. So
yeah,
I fancy us.
Kev, do you think they paid 50 million for Joelinton? 50, Kev. I mean, that's got to be one of the biggest busts ever, no?
Well, listen, this is football. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. That's life. He scored goals in Germany. He hasn't really settled in the Premiership. That's life. That's the way it goes.
No, he hasn't. And I don't think Willock is eligible to play. No, you can't play against the team that has loaned you. And yes, Matty K, this is like 12 points, 0 points, 3 points.
No,
this is
13 points.
13 points. So far, Kevin's 3, 6, 9, 12.
Yes,
15 points. 15 points pour le Arsenal et la Premier League.
I could feel problems coming up now.
Kev, brace yourself. Brace yourself. All right, here we go. We move on. Next one. I mean, look, guys, if we want to make a run for it, now's the time. And you can't blame Kev for going for a 3. He might do another one here. Another one of your old clubs, Kev. I don't think they're going to survive the way you helped them to when you were captain. One of the greatest ever games we've ever seen at the end of the season. The survival Sunday, West Brom. What do you think about your old club here, Kev?
Got to be 3 points, Sophie. I tell you what a run we've gone on here. By the way, what a run.
It's a good job I didn't ask you what the formation and who was going to play in any of these.
All that. Are we going to win, yes or no, with 3 points? I'll tell you what, if we could get from the next 6 games 18 points. 18 points from the next 6 games. I'll tell you what, that would put cat amongst the pigeons. Do you know what? So even if we got 14 points or something like that, my problem is I'm too positive. These are games that we should win.
Listen.
Fulham, Everton, Newcastle, West Brom, Sheffield United. Maybe, listen, not saying Liverpool can't beat us. Of course they can beat us. It's happened before. But Matty K, I'm going for the full ass. Let me see.
I mean, I should take you to Vegas. Yeah, I mean, I could be there in 3.5 hours, Kev. I'll put it all on red. Hey, how about that? Put it all on red. This is why I wanted to do this show today, because as we're coming back, you know,
I was just poisoned. Mike Magic.
Kev,
Is
listen.
toxically positive. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah, you just poisoned him. Absolutely poisoned him. A draw against West Brom from Kev. Really?
Kev, you're bearing our name.
Now everyone's saying they'd like to see Jermaine Genius's face if Kev's right. They want you to play bingo now, Kev. I mean, I just want you to give me the lottery numbers for California.
I tend to win at bingo, but wait, I tend to win at bingo. Funny enough, first time I went bingo, I won 3 times.
I love it. I love it. Maitland Niles can't play, you guys, so that's not going to happen. All right. So we got 3 points. I'm going for 3 points against West Brom as well.
What did you go for? Newcastle 3, and
I went for 3 on Newcastle, 1 for Everton.
I tell you what, Sophie, you're not doing too bad. You're on 14.
I know. I've got us drawing against Liverpool and the Toffees.
Everton,
yeah.
That's 14 points. I tell you what, that ain't too bad either.
I'm telling you. All right, here we go. You guys, I hope you're enjoying the Crystal Football Show. I often like to do this. It's not the what if game. We're just looking into our crystal football here and thinking what we can do to win. Do you think we'll lose? Do you think we'll draw? The next one. This becomes a little tougher. Wednesday, a midweek game under the lights, Kev, against Thomas Tuchel and his Chelsea revival. Is this where we break Kev's 3 points?
Yeah, it is. It is, to be honest. It is. I don't think we're going to get anything out of that game.
I don't too. I've got a 0. Look, my notes right here. Everyone can see him. It's scrappy. It's scrappy, you guys. But there, I have a 0. I have a 0.
I honestly don't think we're going to get anything out of that game. And not because we can't. We can, of course, we can win. But I think their level and their level of player is a little bit ahead of us at the moment. So I think we'll lose that game. I'd love to be proved wrong, obviously. Hey, I tell you what, if we get another win, I'll go for the full house.
You know who I'd unleash on that game? Because it is at Stamford Bridge. Come on, Kevin. Yes. Why not, right?
Yeah.
You know, Matty, they're boring, but they're efficient. He's made them more boring, but Kev, tell him.
Boring is good when you're winning.
Especially this time of the season when you need to get into a spot, Kev. Tell everyone that boring Arsenal.
Keep the boring Arsenal. Let me hear more of the chants. Just keep ticking them W's on. Another W. Do you know all of these games, Sophie? If we won each of these games 1-0 to the Arsenal, would anybody in the chat be moaning? No. Because it's a win. It's 3 points. This is what we're in the game for.
Yeah.
So I think Chelsea are going to do us.
I do too. I have us having 0 points against Chelsea, Kev. 0 points. All right, here we go. Next one. Never a given either, even though, you know, they've got some good players, but they've not had the best season, Kev. We go to South London and we face Crystal Palace. Oh, before we do that, I like this, Mark. Willian to score the winner against Chelsea. Now, there's a redeeming feature for him for this season. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's switch, Kev. We go to Palace, South London. We're at Selhurst Park. This is May.
This is 3
what do you
points
fancy?
It's got to be 3 points for us. It has to be. It has to be 3 points for us. Because Crystal Palace tend to not have a great end to the season. They've worked so hard to get themselves into position. It's a game we have to win. And sometimes this could be a point, Sophie. This really could be a draw. Because we've seen us go there expecting to win. And we end up getting a draw 2-2, I think, was one of them at one stage. And but listen, if I'm going to be positive, I've got to go for the 3 points. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with Bernadette. They're on the odd occasion they can be a bogey team for us. you know, and we could go up and we concede. And this is true from Mike as well. Good evening, Mr. Mike from the Gooners podcast. I will be appearing on his show in a couple hours. I'll tell you about that at the end. You can swing by and join us right there. We play shit at Selhurst Park in this century. I feel like I've been at every awful game there. Well, stop going, Mike, for crying out loud.
You're the jinx. You're
the jinx, mate. Jesus Christ.
Well, we used to give them a good slapping. When the boys went back to South London, even with Ian Wright there, we used to give them a proper tucking in.
Do you know what, Kevin? I think that's where my memory about Palace comes from, is in the recent times, not so great. Back in the day, a bit of slapping.
Yeah, we used to give a good slapping out.
Yeah. So I'm going for a draw against Palace. Right. What are you going to do?
I've gone for a win, ain't I? I've gone for 3.
Okay.
I've got a hell of a run, me.
Listen, if you get this right, I tell you, we're going to have to do a plaque of some kind to give it to football prizes so they can auction it.
Hey, it could all go pear-shaped after the first game. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm going for a draw. And yeah, Mike should never, ever. I don't even think Mike should be allowed to watch the game. I think we should just ban him from watching the game altogether. All right, here we go, Kev. We have Arsenal at home against Brighton.
Is this the last game?
That's the last game in the Premier League. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games left. And the last game of the season, boys and girls, is against Brighton and Hove Albion.
And they could be fighting for their life.
Absolutely, they could be.
We have seen this game trip us up.
We've seen this
time
pear-shaped, Kev.
Haven't we? It's tripped us up so many times. Hey, but hold on a minute. This could be one of the games where fans are in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
home win. I've got to go for a home win.
This will be
some fans in.
This will be May 23rd. Also, the Palace game might have. That's away though. So our home games, Kev. Oof. Here's something else. Newcastle's away. West Brom's home. Chelsea's away. Palace is away. Brighton is at home, and then Fulham is home. Everton's home. Sheffield United away. But the games where fans might be able to come back will be probably from Chelsea away, Palace away, Brighton at home. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've got to go for 3 points. If the fans are allowed back, definitely.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a win. I'm going to go for a win here. I'm going to go for a 3 points against Brighton. Okay. So, squaddies. It's going to be a shorty show today. I want you to do some maths. Now, maths was never my subject in school. It was when I was younger, but then when I went to secondary school, I kind of discovered other things and maths just didn't become as important. And Mopay, yeah. But let's be honest, you guys, Brighton have also handed us some numbers over the last couple seasons as well. And I agree with Johnny Boy. They can play like Brazil. It is an easy run, Sonny, minus Chelsea, minus Liverpool and Everton. Those are the 3 toughest games. But then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are all winnable. So let's tally up our points.
I've already done it.
All right.
For both of us.
Okay. What have you got, mate?
I've got 24 out of 27. We win 8 games. Win 8 games, win 6 on a run, lose 1 at Chelsea midweek, get back on the horse at Palace, and finish off beating Brighton at home.
Okay, so
you've got 18.
So let's see. I've got 18. Right. So I'm going to get
you got 5 wins, 3 draws, and a loss.
So the fact that we only have and listen, I go on history too, because we do really play well towards the end of the season, or have done. Over the years.
Hey, Sophie, we've also up at the end of the season a couple of seasons
recently,
ago, didn't we?
Emery, Arteta, they both could have qualified for the Champions League, but did not. But this is a different time now. I think we've improved in the sense that we're harder to beat. We concede less goals, but the problem is we're not scoring, right? But I think once everyone comes back from the international break, Kev, it's been an exhausting season. The players really didn't get a break. It's been long. It's been arduous. We've been going since Project Restart. It's kind of insane when you think about it. So I do believe from that maths, do you have us finishing on 66 points?
By my maths, we're winning the title now, Joe.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Here we go. So Mike says, yes,
66.
Fourth.
That
all right. So
remember, that gives us 66 points. That's just us. This isn't any of the other teams what they need to do.
Right. So
because remember, Chelsea are fourth, and they're on 51. You would expect Chelsea to get more than 15 points. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And
could West Ham do it? Could Spurs do it? You know, we don't know who they've got. Chelsea
have got West Brom. They've got Crystal Palace. They've got Man City, West Ham, Fulham. Man City in the FA Cup and the league, right? Obviously, they play us. They've got Leicester and they've got Villa. Those aren't all Villa, Leicester, us, City. They've got the West London derby against Fulham.
But the great thing is there's gonna be, hopefully they'll take points off the boys above us. That's my point. And obviously West Ham, we don't know who Spurs.
I'm going to give you these real quick. I'm going to give them to you because then we're going to put our league position in, right? So West Ham, Kev, they've got Wolves, they've got Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea, Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, and Southampton. So you could argue West Ham's toughest games are Everton, Chelsea, Leicester, Wolves. You know, they slip up against the odd Newcastle, Burnley here and there. Southampton might be a tough one for them. And here's the enemies' fixtures. Newcastle, Manchester United, Everton, Manchester City, Sheffield United, Leeds United, Wolves, Aston Villa, Leicester.
We got to take them over. We got to finish the season above them. So hit that like button if you hate that lot. I'm telling you.
If you hate Tottenham, hit the like button.
This could work out so damn sweet. I'm telling you.
Kevin, is St. Totteringham's Day back in play?
It might be this season. I'm telling you. Listen, I've got a bet with my mate who's Spurs. We always bet at the start of the season. He said they're going to finish above us. I said they're not. And he was at Christmas time. He was saying to me, the cheeky get, pay me. You could pay me half now. That you can see
down payment.
No, pay him half.
Yeah,
and they call it quits. I said no. I said I'd rather pay you all of it at the end because I know what you could do. And he was laughing his head off.
Oh my God, that's hilarious! I love it. I mean, I bet he's regretting that a little bit, Kev.
No, I'm just keeping quiet. Yeah. Even when we beat him in the derby, I've just kept quiet, not said a word.
That's why I didn't spread as many memes. I kept it quiet.
Let them hit. I sent him nothing. Let them hit the buffers.
Yeah.
Let them hit the buffers and we could pip them. Last game of the season, let's pip them.
Like that season when Leicester won the league and they went and lost like 5-4 to Newcastle. Do you remember that? It's just brilliant.
Beautiful.
Newman, by the way, yes, we do have Europa League games in the middle, but we're just talking about the Premier League here. We're not talking about like if we play and we get through here and there. We're just focused on this right now. All right.
And you know what, Soph? I'm gonna say we probably could get in between your score and my score.
Right.
So that's 21 points.
So Kev, we also have to look at all right, 21. But let's also really quickly look at three other schedules or fire through these because Liverpool are in play, of course, right?
Yeah.
They're in the Champions League too, but we're ignoring that right now. We're just talking about the Premier League, you guys,
Mhm.
and where we think we're going to get points. Liverpool are playing Villa,
Mhm.
Leeds,
Mhm.
Newcastle,
Mhm.
Manchester United,
Mhm.
Southampton,
Mhm.
West Brom, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. I mean, there's a couple of games. I mean, Man United always going to be tough. Leeds, that could be like another. They beat them, but they just barely beat them at the beginning of the season. Leeds could have easily won that game.
Liverpool play Man U at Man U, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at Old Trafford.
It's at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
All we really need are the teams above us to misstep a couple of times.
And I think they can because Everton have got Crystal Palace, Brighton, Tottenham, us, Villa, West Ham, Sheffield United, Wolves, and Manchester City. That is not an easy schedule for the Toffees.
Wow, that's not easy at all. That is not easy at all.
And I
I'm
think
telling
the
I'm
only other
telling
team,
yourself,
Kev, go on,
for
mate.
us, it's all on that first game. If we could get them red noses beat, that propels us forward. I'm telling you, big time.
That if we can beat them and get something out of the Chelsea game, we can galvanize this squad. I mean, that now you're talking, right? You got 4 points from maybe 2 potential losses that we've experienced a lot in the past against those 2 teams in the league. So, and then here's the other team that has 2 games in hand, I think. Let me just double check the standings here, Kev. Yeah, Villa have 1 game in hand on
one
us.
game in hand. But they've
And
got a hard one. They've got a hard run in.
yeah, they do. I don't know why it's not. My phone's frozen. So
But
hold
they
on a
could take
second.
points off. They could take points off some of the others. Obviously, they've got Everton, Liverpool, Spurs.
Yep,
They play a lot of the boys above us.
exactly. And then Leeds, I don't think. Do we have to worry about Leeds? Do you think as much?
Well,
Because
they're 3 points behind us.
they're
Okay.
3 points behind us. So in a sense, maybe we
But,
do.
well, we have to look at their fixtures. You know why? Because we got to hope they take points off some of the boys above us.
Well, they play Sheffield United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Brighton, Tottenham, Burnley, Southampton, and West Brom. That is not an easy schedule.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not. But
So,
against that lot, they could give them hell.
and Aston Villa's games are Fulham, Liverpool, West Brom, Everton, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, and Chelsea. Listen, guys,
That ain't easy either.
I'm going to jump on Casey's train. Hold on a second.
I'm telling you, 24 points. Give me 21 now. I'll take your hand off. Give me 21 points now. I'll take your hand off.
So,
Out of
Kev,
27.
so here's the rundown, you guys. Liverpool, Kev has 3 points. I have 1. Sheffield United, we both have 3. We have 3 against Fulham, Newcastle, West Brom, and Brighton.
No, Everton.
We have Everton 3 for Kev, 1
You've
for
got
me.
1.
Chelsea, we've put that in as a 0-0, a loss. And Crystal Palace, Kev has 3, and I have 1. So technically, with what we've established this evening, we're in the top 6, depending on other results. But
No, don't say that. Just say we got, in my case, we've got 66 points. In your case, we've got 60.
yeah, I mean, it's not unfathomable, is it?
No, it's not. But we have to go on a hell of a run.
Yeah, we do have to go on a hell of a run, and we have to score goals, and we got to take our chances. Kev, what do you think the biggest challenge is going to be for us in order to get these results and go on a run? Defensively, everyone keeps lauding and saying we're better. What is it? It's going to be, for me, scoring goals.
Consistency at the top end of the pitch. Consistency at the top end of the pitch. We need Aubameyang to turn up. I'm telling you. He's not turned up for big stretches of the season. You know what they call it, squeaky bum time and all that. This is where we need him. That's why we pay him the big money. This is where we need him.
I agree with you, Osteoman. It is wishful thinking.
Of course it is wishful, Osteoman. Definitely.
But like Kev says, and Suraj here, and Fraser, and many of you, we're going to need him. We're going to need him big time. And if he can't be the one, then Arteta's going to have to be brave, Kev, to, switch and make some changes. But we are getting goals from other areas of the pitch, but not enough. That's our biggest challenge.
That's been our biggest problem all season. We haven't got goals enough from around the team. We rely too much on the defense, because the defense are the ones who have to keep us in the game when we're missing chances at the other end. Yeah. It's hard. You stick your chances away. You go 2-0 up, 3-0 up. Then the opposition have to open up. Then you just cut through them.
Yep. And apparently he scored for his country today. So hopefully he can do that for his club. And another one, GD, 100% correct. Stay injury free. It seems like Odegaard's fine. It seems like he's going to play this weekend. Thank God, Kev. Look, it's not unattainable. What Kev has said here is looking at the teams, their form this season. We're looking at where we might be, what we've done towards the end of the season, maybe not in the last two, but the fact that the league is so topsy-turvy this year and can go any which way, it's possible. It's possible for us to do that. And of course, yes, other teams around us have to falter too. But if we do, we need European football, Kevin. We're in agreement on that. I'm not sure about the baby Europa League. I'm not sure what kind of money's involved in that, Kevin.
Well, let's put it this way. Back when I was there were 3 European competitions. There was the Cup Winners' Cup, UEFA Cup, and the Champions League. Right? Mm-hmm. I think bringing another competition in gives everyone a chance again to get out into Europe. Listen, it may not be big money, but it's extra money. Mm-hmm. So I don't care. Don't knock it. If you get in it, you want to win it. Simple as that.
And I guess it's revenue as well. Whichever way, it may not be the same type of revenue, but it's going to be revenue for the club as well. So, yeah, I mean...
listen, we've got a great chance of winning that Europa.
We do. We'll do that. That's another show. Save that one, Kev. Save that one, Kev. We're going to do that next week as part of the Interdal. So, yeah, we'll hold on to that one. But today we just wanted to look ahead and say, you know what? Realistically, what can we do? Where do we think we can get the points? And based on the fact that you guys, the schedule is definitely in our favor. Mm-hmm. Yes, we've got a couple tricky games. For me, the Liverpool is just because they're a bogey team. They're tough. Everton, I know we've beaten them a lot, Kev. Chelsea under Tuchel, just tougher. Crystal Palace, just a bit of a bogey team lately. But it is not unattainable. Absolutely not. And, we'll talk about the juxtaposition of progressing in the Europa League and what that means in terms of the squad and how he's going to manage that. And we'll do that next week. In the meantime, we love shorty shows as well. That's it, Kev. We looked into our crystal football, and let me tell you something. I think you've galvanized the squaddies tonight. I think you got them believing.
Listen, let me tell you something. At the bottom of my crystal ball is gold with diamonds with ice. And the crystal ball has hands around it, platinum hands. So come on, Arsenal, come on.
I love it. Absolutely brilliant. Listen, if you guys are still up for some, entertainment, I'm joining the Gooners podcast at 3 in about an hour's time, 3:00 Pacific Standard Time for some fun. And Tanner from the Bearded Gooner is in the house too. He's got a great channel. Both Mike from the Gooners podcast and Tanner from the Bearded Gooner have a lot of creative content too. So be supportive and go over there and check out Tanner's as well. And if you ever need a shout out on this show, just let the Highbury Squad know and we will give you a shout out. No problem. And I'll see you tonight, Mike. No worries. Super Kev, we're going to have to just one more time remind the squad. Tomorrow is the last day. For the Ian Wright shirt, which with is
the LEDs, man. This is. Do
you know what, Kev? I'm thinking to myself, I could be laying in bed and I got all the lights off, but my Ian Wright bruised banana is just flashing at me.
It's just giving you that ambience of red in the bedroom. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Just too good. Absolutely too good. And also, in case you missed it, go into our community page on YouTube. You'll see our press release and the announcement of Good Morning Gunners. It's our breakfast show. And it's a breakfast show with a little bit of a twist. It's the goal is to broadcast it from, say, the LA and in the US at 9 a.m. And then the next week we'll do another breakfast show, and it will be the morning in Africa, and we'll do some great stuff with a lot of our African Gooner supporters. And then we'll do a morning show from the Middle East. We'll do one in Asia, in Europe. So watch out for that, you guys. It's the hybrid flexible schedule Good Morning Gunners show. We're introducing another arm to the Highbury Squad network.
And don't forget, the clocks go forward on Sunday.
Ours have already gone forward here in the US.
Yeah,
We're
but
2 weeks
in the UK,
ahead of you.
We go forward on Sunday. So let's get it.
We do. And Sonny, I think that's a good idea. Maybe I will present the one in LA in my pajamas. Got the halo lights ready here for the late shows when we're doing, Europe and the Middle East and stuff like that too as well. So we're really super excited about it, you guys. We're always trying to bring you interesting and different content. And we feel by bringing a breakfast show that's in the time zone of that particular territory market will be fun as well. And it gives a lot of international Gooners, Kev, the chance to listen and participate as well. All right. That's it. Until tomorrow night. Now, you are not going to want to miss tomorrow night's show at all, because we are going down memory lane. That's right. The Highbury Squad presents a trip down memory lane, and we're going to be looking at a FA Cup win. George Graham's FA Cup winning team with Super Kevin Campbell and David Hillier. We're going to be sharing pictures, anecdotes, stories, and we need you fans to participate. If you're at the FA Cup final, if you're at that game, it's going to be epic, Super Kev. Can't wait for that.
Brilliant. It's going to be really good. And my old pal David Hillier is going to be joining us. That's going to be really interesting.
Taking a break from all his DIY, Kev. He's going to join us.
He does all sorts. He does all sorts.
Very talented. All right, until tomorrow night, Kev, let the crew know.
Crew, stay positive. I've got us down for 24 points. But you know what? I don't know where that will take us, but I hope it could take us somewhere. Up the Gunners.